hoppy lager.
Smash lager.
Smash lager, 100% Pilsner, 100% Mosaic. So right now, this is kind of how it looks. Clear, obviously not too clear, but we haven't lagered it.
We haven't put the clarifier in it.
Yeah, no clarifier. Honestly, it smell right now. Originally, when we poured off the first part, I think there was still some yeast in it or something.
This one. It definitely kind of smells like cider. I don't know if it's just my cup.
I don't know, because I tried to pour off some of the yeast because we're right now it's sitting in a keg fermenting.
So it wasn't done fermenting when we transferred into the corny keg. So we're letting it ferment a little more. So we're just kind of burping it as the week goes on. It fermented for about 2 weeks in the carboy. Then we transferred to a corny keg about 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks ago now, right? Yeah, so, and it's still fermenting from what we can tell. So we're kind of just debating on letting it go longer because actually the ABV was about 3.5. Let me see here. Let me get to our original gravity.
Yeah, originally off the first pour, it had an apple juice kind of cidery smell, which if any of you brew, that's not what you want. But pouring off more of that yeast, for me, it definitely has gone away. And even the flavor, the smell originally was off, and but the flavor was fine. It wasn't good, but definitely not the way it smelled. So I was okay with that. But I think maybe pouring off a little bit more of the yeast has taken away that kind of not off flavor, off the smell.
The stringency. Yeah, it was super. It smelled like super danky. Probably like 2 weeks ago.
I don't get fucking that cidery apple juice in that anymore. I get a lot more hops in mine now. So I have more hope for it. We're gonna check
you're gonna check the gravity with the refractometer. But our starting gravity was 1.070,
which should have been a very high fucking ABV beer for a lager. We went to do a lager with that type of ABV. That should have been a IPL.
And then as of last week, it was 1.042. So Sebastian can tell you what all that really means because I'm an idiot.
According to this, it's exactly at 1.42.
It hasn't changed.
Which doesn't make sense because it's been fermenting this whole time. But that still only puts us at less than a 4% beer. It's 3.8 something. How the fuck has it not changed?
And all this is we're learning. This is our actual first batch of beer that we're actually going to be able to drink. The last 2 batches,
as a group.
Yes, as a group.
I was a homebrewer before. I've made many beers. This is OC Bottle Boys, where we have 5 guys that come. They all get hammered. They don't pay attention to anything. We miss gravities. We miss temperatures. So we have fucked up every beer we've made as a group. This was the first one. Me and Joel said, we're sober. We are not going to touch any alcohol. We're not drinking until this beer is done. So, therefore, being the first drinkable beer that we've made as a collective group, the face that you're seeing are 2 of the 5 people that tend to come to these brew days. So when you throw that many hands into a pot, shit gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Apparently, us being sober didn't fix too much.
No, because we'll be able to drink it this time. The last 2 times we couldn't. It was done. It was done.
And you have to. Some days you just have to understand that even as a brewer of actual breweries, you need to know when to dump a beer. The loss of money sucks, but don't put out bad products if it's not what you guys wanted.
Yeah, good breweries don't put out shitty beer. Let's just say that. And if they do, there's probably a reason. But for the most part, no. Ultimately, we'll let you guys know the finished product. And that'll be like a month away.
Yeah. No, in my opinion, I think we're just gonna kill this. ABV hasn't changed. So I think we're just gonna kill fermentation, cold crash it. I'll probably biofine tonight. Might as well. It's Sundays when we made it. Maybe 3 weeks ago. Was it a month?
Yeah,
a month. So we'll kill fermentation, biofine, cold crash it now, and start the lagering process. In reality, I'm not upset with this beer. I think it has a lot of potential after it cold crashes, it lagers down. Again, even the smell. I got very apple juice, and pouring out all that yeast, getting all that stuff, that gunk on the bottom. It's tasting or smelling like a hoppy beer.
I mean, we just won't get drunk. We'll just need to drink the whole thing. But,
that's what we call playing kill the keg.
That's right.
So we're gonna have maybe a New Year's Eve party, and we're just gonna.
It's gonna be after New Year's by the time it's done lagering.
Yeah. Good. We'll have about 5 guys. We'll kill that keg in hours. In an hour.
We buy a keg for our beer shares, and we almost kill a keg.
But overall, not a bad beer. We'll figure it out.
Rate it?
Man, I don't even know if I can rate it right now. It being not even a finished beer, but
I rated a 4.5 just because I can fucking actually drink it this time.
Okay, for other people.
as a homebrew beer,
Probably like a 3.
you know what I really enjoy. In all honesty, homebrews have they
Tastes like homebrew.
They almost all have the same exact fucking smell and taste, and there's just something that people don't like, and this doesn't give me that.
It doesn't taste like ass.
It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have that weird. I don't know, but I'm actually kind of happy with this one. I was really nervous originally. I've been tasting it the past.
You were actually upset when we transferred.
I had bad feelings, but trying it every Sunday, basically every Sunday, I was taking a sample, testing it, tasting it, and every week I was not impressed, but I was happy with the results we were getting.
You're optimistic.
Optimistic.
Yeah, the last couple of times you were just like, fuck this.
Yeah, but the first pour, my heart felt pretty sad. Smelling it, tasting it, I was like, okay, you know what, not too bad. And now that we poured off enough, I think this has some potential. I think we're gonna get some good feedback on it.
Whenever we first took the original gravity, you mentioned that we were gonna hit like a 6 or 7%.
The idea with a 1.
We were gonna hit an Imperial Pilsner.
Yeah, Imperial Pilsner. Whatever. With a 1.070.
We didn't come close.
Yeah, 1.07. 1.070 original gravity is that's something like an IPA you would start with. You would start with that type of gravity for an IPA. So the fact that we made a Pilsner with that starting gravity, not that it was bad news, we're fine drinking a 7% Imperial Pilsner, but just wasn't what we were planning for. We were going for our 5% hoppy lager. Used the American lager yeast, 100% mosaic. So we were going
Shout
for...
out to
White Labs. We were going for just a nice, light, crisp lager. And that's essentially what we're gonna get. We're gonna get very light on the ABV. Hopefully, and again, it's a fairly light body. The color, again, is cloudier than I like, but again, we haven't lagered.
Yeah,
so this is gonna drop this tremendously. And now that appley kind of flavor is gone, I get a lot of the hops. And I think after this crashes, this could potentially be a pretty decent beer. Again, it's only now 3.8 something percent. So goddamn near a session lager. Not even a fucking lager. It's a session lager.
Yeah, that's right.
But I have high hopes for this. I think it's gonna be decent. So we'll find out. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.